Have you ever wondered if an aircraft could remain in service for 100 years? Sounds impossible, right? In a world where airplanes are upgraded, retired, or replaced every few decades, a century-old plane seems like something out of a sci-fi movie. Yet, that's exactly what the B-52 Stratofortress is aiming for. This isn't just an old relic gathering dust in a museum. It's a 70-year-old flying powerhouse that the U.S. Air Force is determined to keep operational all the way into the 2050s. You might be asking, why would they spend billions upgrading a plane designed in the 1950s instead of building a brand new bomber? The answer lies in the B-52's unique combination of range, firepower, flexibility, and sheer reliability. Qualities that modern aircraft still struggle to match. Over the next few minutes, we'll uncover the fascinating story of how this legendary bomber rose from post-World War II design tables to Cold War dominance, then into modern warfare, and now, a radical upgrade program that could make it relevant for a full century. By the end, you'll see why this seemingly vintage aircraft is about to become one of the most formidable weapons in the skies, proving that sometimes the old can be reinvented as the future. To understand why the B-52 exists, we have to go back to the years just after World War II. The United States had emerged as a global superpower, but the new challenge was clear: how to project military strength across the world without relying on foreign bases. The Cold War was just beginning, and the growing threat from the Soviet Union demanded a bomber capable of delivering massive payloads anywhere on the planet. Enter Boeing. In 1946, the Air Force issued technical requirements for a new strategic bomber, and Boeing responded with the Model 462. It was a straight-wing, six-engine behemoth designed for long-range missions. But almost immediately, engineers ran into problems. The plane was too large, its range wasn't quite enough, and early prototypes struggled to meet expectations. After several redesigns, including scaling down to 4 engines and testing versatile models like the B-52-7, the Air Force nearly canceled the project. But Boeing didn't give up. By 1951, the company unveiled the Model 464-67, which would become the first true B-52A. The initial production run was small, primarily for testing, but it proved the concept could work. Finally, in 1955, the B-52B entered active service at Castle Air Force Base in California. Over the next 7 years, Boeing built a total of 744 aircraft across 8 variants, from A to H. Each version became more capable, setting the stage for a bomber that could adapt to decades of technological and strategic change. In short, the B-52's design was flexible and forward-thinking from the start. It wasn't just about speed or firepower. It was built to evolve, a foundation that would allow it to survive for decades where other aircraft would be retired or scrapped. Once the B-52 entered service, it quickly became the backbone of America's nuclear deterrence strategy. The Cold War wasn't fought with armies on the ground. It was a high-stakes game of fear, with both the U.S. and the Soviet Union constantly testing each other's limits. The B-52 was at the center of that game. One of its most famous missions was Operation Chrome Dome, which ran from 1960 to 1968. Nuclear-armed B-52s stayed in the air around the clock, flying near Soviet borders on constant alert. Imagine planes ready to strike at any moment, 12 flights a day, covering thousands of miles without touching the ground. This wasn't just power, it was psychological warfare, a constant reminder that the U.S. could respond instantly if provoked. What made the B-52 truly extraordinary was its flexibility. It could fly high or low, evade radar, and switch between strategic nuclear missions and tactical bombing runs. In 1958, it set world speed records over 5,000 and 10,000 kilometers, and in the early 1960s, it broke records for longest unrefueled flights, proving endurance that few aircraft could match. By combining range, payload, and adaptability, the B-52 became a symbol of U.S. technological and geopolitical power. Other nations could build fast jets or advanced missiles, but few could match a bomber capable of delivering massive firepower anywhere in the world on a moment's notice. In short, the B-52 didn't just fly. It dominated the strategic skies, cementing its reputation as an unmatched symbol of Cold War deterrence. The B-52's story didn't end with the Cold War. In fact, it proved its worth in real combat over decades, showing that this bomber was more than just a strategic deterrent. It was a versatile weapon of war. During the Vietnam War, the B-52 became infamous for its destructive power. Flying massive bombing campaigns, it could blanket entire regions with firepower, yet the missions were dangerous. Many aircraft were lost to enemy fire, highlighting both the bomber's effectiveness and the risks of deploying it in contested airspace. Fast forward to the Gulf War, and the B-52 was again a central player, launching precision strikes over long distances. Its ability to carry both conventional and nuclear weapons made it adaptable to any mission, while advanced targeting systems allowed it to strike heavily defended targets with accuracy. Even in the 21st century, the bomber remains active in campaigns against Iran, the Taliban, and ISIS. What makes the B-52 exceptional isn't just firepower, it's adaptability. New weapons, digital targeting systems, and precision-guided munitions allow a plane designed in the 1950s to keep up with 21st century warfare. The lesson is clear. The B-52's longevity isn't just a marvel of engineering, it's a strategic necessity. Its continued use proves that some designs are so fundamentally strong that they can evolve with the times, adapting to new technologies, new threats, and entirely new kinds of warfare. Today, only about 76 B-52Hs remain in active service, and, well, their mission readiness has fallen below 60%. But instead of retiring the fleet, the U.S. Air Force is embarking on a bold $48.6 billion modernization program, transforming these classic bombers into the B-52J, a plane ready to fly into the next century. At the heart of this upgrade are the engines. The old Pratt & Whitney TF-33s, revolutionary in the 1960s, are now fuel-hungry, expensive to maintain, and increasingly rare. To replace them, Boeing is installing the Rolls-Royce F-130 engines, which are quieter, more reliable, and far more fuel-efficient. This isn't just about saving money. New engines also solve the problem of obsolete spare parts and lay the groundwork for decades of future service. But the upgrade goes far beyond engines. The B-52J will feature a fully digital cockpit, state-of-the-art radar, advanced avionics, and the ability to carry next-generation long-range weapons, including hypersonic missiles. Combat communications are being modernized to handle the speed of information in modern warfare, making the B-52J a true networked weapon system. In essence, this is not a cosmetic overhaul. It's a strategic re-engineering of a 70-year-old airframe. The Air Force is betting that by combining proven design, modern technology, and forward-looking upgrades, the B-52J will remain a cornerstone of U.S. air power for decades to come. Upgrading a 70-year-old bomber isn't just a matter of swapping parts. It's a colossal engineering challenge. After decades of service, these aircraft show random system faults, corroded components, and wear that can affect mission readiness. Every upgrade risks being wasted if it's built on a deteriorating airframe. One of the biggest hurdles is integrating modern digital systems with the old mechanical design. The TF-33 engines were controlled with cables, rods, and classic hydraulics, while the new F-130 engines are fully digitally managed. Engineers must create complex interfaces and converters so that old cockpit commands, like throttle adjustments, translate instantly and safely into digital signals for the new engines. Even a tiny delay or error could be dangerous in flight. The new engines also change weight distribution and aerodynamics. They are more efficient, but their different structure affects wing balance, requiring adjustments to flight control systems, structural reinforcements, and sometimes additional counterweights. Every tweak must be tested under thousands of flight conditions to ensure stability. On top of these technical challenges, the program faces classic project risks. cost overruns, delays, and unexpected complications from decades-old designs. In short, the B-52J upgrade is a high-stakes marathon, balancing legacy engineering and modern technology, where every decision impacts the aircraft's safety, performance, and strategic power. So, after all these upgrades and challenges, why does the B-52 still matter? The answer lies in its unique combination of capabilities. With enormous payload capacity, long operational range, and unmatched versatility, the B-52 can carry conventional bombs, precision-guided munitions, cruise missiles, and nuclear weapons, all in a single mission. But its value goes beyond raw firepower. The upgraded B-52J will be fully integrated into modern warfare networks, capable of launching hypersonic missiles, carrying next-generation weapons, and serving as a platform for testing future arms. Its sheer size and adaptability make it an ideal testbed for the next generation of aerial combat systems, keeping it relevant long into the 21st century. From a cost perspective, modernizing the B-52 is far cheaper than building an entirely new bomber fleet, while delivering comparable, or in some areas, superior capabilities. Strategically, it acts as a deterrent, a flexible strike force, and a symbol of enduring air power. In short, the B-52 isn't just a relic of the past. It's a classic aircraft evolving into a weapon of the future, a reminder that smart engineering and adaptability can keep a legend flying and dominating the skies for generations. From its struggles in the 1950s to dominating the Cold War skies, from Vietnam and the Gulf War to modern campaigns against ISIS, the B-52 has proven itself as more than just a bomber. It's a living legend. Today, with the B-52J upgrades, it's poised to remain a cornerstone of U.S. air power for a full century, blending the wisdom of its original design with the technology of the future. Think about it. A plane designed in the 1950s will still be flying over our skies in 2055. That's a testament not only to engineering brilliance, but also to strategic foresight, adaptability, and innovation. Few machines in history have achieved this level of relevance for such a long period. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the B-52's incredible journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us bring more in-depth analyses of aviation history, cutting-edge technology, and military innovation straight to you. And stay tuned. Next time, we'll explore topics like hypersonic weapons, future air power strategies, and other game-changing upgrades that continue to shape the skies. The B-52 isn't just a plane, it's a symbol of how the past can meet the future, and a reminder that sometimes old legends never die, they evolve.